Ladies and gents, it's your boy Lando Success. Hope all is well. Voice is gone, but we're doing a reaction video. You guys was pissed off last time. We did a video covering Dan Le Batard. Orlando, how do you know sports? You don't know anything if you don't know Dan. I ain't know his name. Never heard his name. But when you say Poppy, highly questionable, I know who you are. You the guy that's Poppy's son. Unfortunately, I still don't know his history in the game, but he responded to Stephen A. Smith and he came with that smoke, he came with that fire. We're about to react, so make sure you guys hit the like button, the subscribe button. Let's get this thing hopping. So this is the last video we did where everybody is pissed off, and this one say Dan Le Batard, and it did look like LeBasseur. It did. Dan Le Batard responded to Stephen A. Smith public criticism. Oh boy, let's go.
I do not listen to the Stephen A. Smith No Mercy podcast. I am an admirer of Stephen A. Smith's story. It doesn't.
He came off the beginning. I don't listen to his stuff. Let's get that out the way.
Have a whole lot of precedent in my lifetime in journalism. A guy gets let go by ESPN and somehow makes it back stronger than ever, dominates the network, will now be someone who gets to have resources with First Take to make it bigger and bigger and bigger as Skip Bayless looks for a partner.
Now he also going with another backhanded compliment. He like Stephen A. been fired before and he's still with the network. How does that happen? How does that happen?
As Skip Bayless takes 2 months off and they try to figure out if Richard Sherman can fill the role of Shannon Sharpe, and as it is rumored all over the place that Shannon Sharpe might go to ESPN and be a part of what Stephen A. Smith is now doing under ESPN's umbrella, and if you're watching him closely, a lot of stuff outside of ESPN's umbrella, because that man is hungrier than anyone I've ever met in this business about accruing, and whatever's next for him is going to be giant. I consider him a friend and I'm impressed by him. I don't like what he's done to sports.
So he like, look, it's not personal. We friends, that's my boy, but we gotta go back and forth. We gotta go back and forth right now.
Television. I think he's helped make it dumber. This has bothered him that I said this to him the last time that we talked. And I would like to talk to him in the future in a way that is conversational instead of performative about how dumb sports debate television has made everything. But
in the comments, let me know right now, have Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe made debate television dumber? Me, I think is more of a show of dumb stuff. You go on a show, you got Shannon Sharpe got to have some Hennessy, some Black and Milds, and all that type of stuff. You got Stephen A. Smith got to do pinky skits. I get it for entertainment purposes, but yeah, it's rhetorical. Like anybody that watched the show, we all can say and estimate exactly what is going to happen on that show that day. What topics they're going to talk about, what Skip take is going to be, what Stephen A. take going to be with Shannon Sharpe take. We kind of know what to expect with them.
Heard this, people sent me that Stephen A. Smith went after me loudly, because that's the only way he goes after people. And this is what he had to say. I've only seen it. I haven't actually heard it. I've only seen aggregated quotes that I read, that he said something. I didn't even know what he was reacting to, that something I did was bullshit. So let's hear that.
Oh, my Lord. I'm looking Elamin Hassan, rather. I'm sorry to mess up your name, Elamin. You know that. Got love and respect for you. He on the Dan Le Batard show, and he's talking too. And I'm looking at Dan Le Batard, and I'm still disgusted. Still disgusted, even though Dan Le Batard is my friend, and I love him. But I'm still disgusted.
I hate how Stephen A. go from yelling and be like, I can't believe, but he's a very nice man and I love him. It's like I can't take him serious.
about how he came at me with that question on his damn show. I hate what you and Skip Bayless have done to sports. Like his ass has been doing accounting. Did you have highly questionable? Was our daddy on the show with us? That was you. You. By the way, I love Mr. Lebatard, Papa de Lebatard.
That's what I remember. Highly questionable with Poppy. Poppy made it all. They bring rappers on there. You know, that's just what it was. You say Poppy, I know who that is.
No shade on him either. I'm talking about your comfort. You was on the show just looking at your father saying hi and giving him a hug and a kiss. You were debating. That's what you were doing. It amazes me how somebody like a Dan Lebatard.
Now, they wasn't debating. The show was orchestrated. I don't even know what it was orchestrated for, but they wasn't fully debating, though.
Sit up there and lament the state of affairs in an industry you are participating in. You sitting on the air, I don't know how long ago it was, with Jamel Hill talking about how, you know what, it's a great thing you left. Really? Okay, probably is. Because I know you're gifted at what you do, and you're a great person. You know I love you, but I'm getting on Dan Lebatard about this a little bit. Why is ESPN always a topic of discussion like this? And why are folks coming off like we're losing? Subscribers have diminished. We're in 72 million homes now, not the 90-plus million or even 100 million that we were years ago.
So the people that watch Dan Lebatard's show, do he usually talk and complain and cry about ESPN a lot? Because this is my first time ever watching it. So is that an accurate statement?
Do you have any idea how dominant ESPN in the sports landscape? We're number one. No one's close.
Tell me you haven't watched Highly Questionable without telling me you haven't watched Highly Questionable. You think I was debating my father on that show?
Like I said, it wasn't a debate show. They just put up topics, see or no.
Stephen A. Smith doesn't have time. He's too busy talking all over the rest of the network to watch any of what's happening on shows elsewhere on the network.
So if your only experience with Highly Questionable is seeing the 3-shot of Bomani, Poppy, and Dan, well, you got one of the key elements there, white guy, black guy, as we know, in debate culture. And you have sports clips going on in the background. I would also assume debate show.
Fair enough. And that isn't actually, I didn't hear in there any of the sound that I read or much of the sound that I read, because he also said.
It was so funny. Y'all came at me and said how you're going to be a professional and do a response to a video without watching the whole video. The guy who y'all talking about, he is doing a responsive video without watching the whole video.
Oh my God. They took my job.
Dummies.
About why do you say that? Why do you say things when you leave the employer when you didn't say those things while taking money from the employer? I don't think that's a fair criticism. I got in trouble all the time because I was always saying at ESPN microphones while taking ESPN's money that ESPN should be covered the way it covers others, and it's a real blind spot at the network that it doesn't. But I understand why he would arrive at this particular viewpoint. The part about this that was...
Reason being, Stephen A. is trying to position himself to keep getting paid by ESPN. He's being a good old boy, a good old company man. Oh, yes, boss, you need me to tap dance? You need me to do this? You need me? Like, Stephen A., you doing real that. You know, he trying to protect that bread. I ain't mad at him, but, ain't my cup of tea.
To me, in the shadows and more objectionable than some of the stuff that we're talking about is his problem's not actually with me. It's with what Jamel Hill said on our platform. And this is more complicated because I'm a much easier target for him to put a name on than going after the black female that he also respects, that he doesn't want to start that back and forth.
I hate when people do, he don't want to go at the black female, so he come after the white guy or Latino guy. I don't respect that. I don't think that's the case.
Easier to just frame it under me when I didn't say the thing he objected to, which I understand.
Like Stephen A. talk about black and white people every single day.
why
You
he
merely
objected.
said one of the things that he objected
Well,
to.
no, I believe that what he objected to, let's play this sound from Jamel on our show. I believe that the strongest objection by him, and I understand being insulted by this, if you're him, is one phrase in the sound we're about to play for you.
Thinking about, my situation is like they were reacting to a moment then. That moment said that people didn't want to hear any political talk, any racial talk, any social justice talk. Not that that was something Mike and I were doing every day on SportsCenter. We weren't. They let a false narrative persist about our show that people just kind of ran away with. They let the idiots in the room control the conversation. People like Clay Travis. That's what happened. And because they allowed those people to direct their course of action, they panicked. And suddenly they were very intentional about the things that they were doing in our show. They wanted black faces. They didn't want necessarily black voices. And that's how it came off, right? And so because of that, ultimately, we wound up paying the price.
Yep.
I concur.
When you say the phrase black faces, not black voices, and Stephen A. Smith is still one of the black faces at ESPN, and you're suggesting that he's establishment, that you're braver than he is because he's a part of the system that wrongs people. I understand him getting bothered by that insult, but your problem's not with me, Stephen A. Smith. You should take that up with her publicly if the objection is I don't like being.
I think that's his problem is with that one statement, but he still have a clear problem with you crying. Well, I'm assuming he's saying he's crying about ESPN. I seen a clip of him throwing shots at ESPN. He do seem like a disgruntled employee that keep on bringing it up.
Told that I am somebody who's kept by the company. Even as you write in your book that you wake up every day thinking of ways to make money for the company, and you're the one they throw
So you don't watch the show, but you read his book? Okay.
out there when Dana White gets in trouble and they've got all sorts of conflict of interest and they need somebody to give a voice to something, and you talk about how you're friends with Dana White. Like your objection is not actually with me, and I would love to discuss this with him in a form that wasn't let's see who can win an argument.
You mean debate?
Yeah. Let's just talk like human beings.
You don't want to play the road game?
I'll lose the road game.
You need that home cooking?
I want to have a conversation about what's happened to sports television. Why is Skip Bayless at 70? See, this is the thing, Stephen.
The thing what happened to sports television, let me do a quick intermission. The thing what happened with sports television, it is not Stephen A. fault. It is not Skip Bayless' fault. It's not Shannon Sharp's fault. It is your fault, my fault, our fault as a viewer. So when people say, man, I hate why you guys have to use clickbait titles. Why do you have to use these crazy thumbnails? Because when we do nice positive titles and positive photos, our analytics show us that you don't click it, you don't view it, and you don't watch it longer. But when we give you these clickbait, the world is about to end, everything is doom and gloom. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Y'all click it and watch it. So as a content creator that's putting out content to get views, to get clicks, you give the consumer what they want. So if you take that over to the sports content, when they do the crazy minstrel show type of energy, act like a clown, if you guys are watching it, if we're watching it, they like, oh, it works. That's how it goes. So we're the problem, y'all. We're the problem.
Stephen A. respects Skip Bayless, who's a plague, because Skip Bayless gave Stephen A. the chance that he gave Shannon Sharp to do the thing of let's do white man, black man, and we'll do the dog whistle, and sports will get dumber, and I will spend 20 years chasing LeBron, who's only the athlete of our times, who deserves all sorts of praise. I'm going to situate myself as the hater and just get somebody loud and black across from me, and we will fight.
As bad as I don't agree with his terminology and his words, they are true. They are true. Sports television now, you got to get a white guy, you got to get a black guy. You can't have two white guys, can't have two black guys. You can in certain instances, but on ESPN, FS1, you need black and white. That's just what it is. And like he said, somebody that's loud. Oh, somebody got to be the loud person. Two calm people don't work good for TV. The crazier it is, that's just how it works.
And that's what television is. And they are the number one program. But First Take went from being what I thought was an embarrassment for the company into their hood ornament. That happened in the last 15 years. Last 10 years, it went from ESPN was a certain journalistic thing, and then it became this dumber thing that has less journalism in it and has Woj now just writing for the Trailblazers.
That happened in political journalism.
Everybody been coming at Woj lately. The word on the streets is that Woj is paid by the Trailblazers, paid by these teams to just say whatever they want them to say, and that's sound about right. Because how the hell Adrian Wojnarowski, breaking report, this person, like, how he know everything first? And how if Woj say it, then it's 100%. So he is paid to say what they want him to say. So it's facts.
Them as well, though, right? If you look at CNN, that's exactly what happened to them, is they basically became this format for debate television, almost following the First Take model.
But it works. It works, of course. Of course, feed the dumb people.
But are we dumb because they made us dumb?
We want to be dumb. We start dumb. We watch dumb things. We consume it like cotton candy. And that's what wins.
Yeah. But now there's that new form
What did I just say? Exactly.
media that targets the dumb people, but tells the dumb people they're the smart ones. Not to take additional shots at Joe Rogan, but that's like the audience. Like, no, everyone else is wrong. You're not dumb. In fact, get this, you're smarter than everybody else. Everything that you Googled that other time that thought maybe people thought that you were crazy for believing in that conspiracy theory, here's someone else with a bit of a reputation agreeing with you and fortifying your beliefs. You're smart, man. You're not dumb for watching this. Everyone else is dumb for not.
But also smart is going dumb as a platform for morning television. Let's do a 10 a.m.
Morning television has always been dumb. Outside of, like, Meet the Press, dude. And
All right, it looked like that is it of that conversation. So what I would have wanted from Dan was to be more to answer Stephen A. take. Stephen A. take was, you were taking ESPN money with no problem, no complaints, but when you leave and get fired, now you got to cry and you got to complain when people get fired every day, B. I wish he responded more towards that. He did say, when I was there, I was saying something, I don't know. But that's really the only argument. And his rebuttal was, Stephen A., you're a company man, dog. You're a company man. You're doing all the right things, but you probably got to. What's your thoughts in the comments? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get it.